Hey friends, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're back talking about Poppy Playtime Chapter 5 with new official teaser messages. In fact, in this video we'll talk about new teaser messages published by Mob Entertainment, messages that are directly connected to the prototype, and we will make some theories about it. Not only theories though, we'll also talk about important news, because we've finally entered the final stretch of waiting. Today is January 18, and this means one very clear thing. There's exactly 1 month left until the release of Poppy Playtime Chapter 5. February 18 is the official date, and the new game countdown confirms it without leaving any doubts. The hype is rising, and Mob Entertainment seems to want to guide us step by step all the way to day 1. During the video, we'll look at what these new messages could mean, why the reference to the prototype is so important, and how all of this could connect to the story, the characters, and the gameplay of the new chapter. Before we start though, as always, if you enjoy the video, leave a like. It helps me a lot to keep bringing content about Poppy Playtime. And if you're not subscribed to the channel yet, subscribe and turn on the notification bell, because from now until February 18, there will be constant updates, analyses, theories, and news about Chapter 5. That said, I think we can start right away, because there's a lot to talk about. First of all, let's start with the countdown, because we can finally say it clearly. From today, there is only 1 month left until the release of Poppy Playtime Chapter 5. The wait is entering its final phase. And this period is always one of the most interesting ones, because this is exactly when Mob Entertainment starts to move more actively. And one thing is certain, this month will not be empty at all. On the contrary, it will most likely be full of content, teasers, and small hints scattered here and there. Mob Entertainment has always followed a very specific pattern before the release of a chapter, and this time it seems they are once again carefully setting the stage. The first important material to expect is definitely the gameplay trailer. We know that, historically, this trailer is released just a few days before the game comes out, usually about 1 week before. This means that in February, we could finally see the first real gameplay footage, new environments, new enemies, and maybe even some new mechanics. But that's not all. Let's remember that just a few days ago, Mob Entertainment published an image with a drone VHS, a detail that might seem simple, but is actually far from random. This image was directly associated with the ARG, and we know very well how important the ARG is for the lore of Poppy Playtime. This opens up several possibilities. If the image is connected to the ARG, it is very likely that new ARG material will arrive in the coming weeks, maybe in the form of cryptic messages, codes, new images, or new clues to decode. And considering how close we are to the release of the chapter, this content could be even more explicit than in the past. Moreover, the simple presence of the drawn VHS could itself be a hint. Every chapter of Poppy Playtime starts with a VHS, and this detail could suggest that Mob Entertainment is also preparing the release of the official Chapter 5 VHS video, maybe even before the gameplay trailer or as part of the ARG itself. So, putting all these elements together, it becomes clear that the countdown does not only represent the wait for the game, but also the beginning of a content-filled period. Trailers, images, ARG elements, VHS tapes, and probably other teasers that we still don't know about, but that could arrive at any moment. From now until February 18th, it's best to keep your eyes wide open, because every small detail could have a precise meaning and be directly connected to the story of Chapter 5. Now let's talk about the new official message regarding the prototype. This message was written by Amber, who we know is the official artist of Mob Entertainment. So we are not talking about a random comment, but about someone who works directly on the game and has an internal view of what we will see in Chapter 5. A few days ago on Discord, a user asked Amber who her favorite antagonist is. A question that seems simple, almost like casual fan conversation. Her answer, however, was very clear. Prototype. Now, taken at face value, this message could seem like a normal reply without any hidden meaning. But we have to remember something important. In fact, we need to remember that Amber playtested Chapter 5. This means that she has already seen content from the chapter, and she has already had the chance to observe characters, scenes, and key moments of the game before its official release. So when Amber says that her favorite antagonist is the prototype, she is not basing that opinion only on what we have seen so far. She may have already seen the prototype in action in Chapter 5, in situations that we still don't know about, So far, the prototype has only appeared partially. In the previous chapters, we have seen only his hand and his legs, and his presence has always been brief, mysterious, and deliberately limited. He is a character who has always remained in the shadows, more suggested than fully shown. In Chapter 5, however, the situation will change completely. We know that the prototype will have a central role. In fact, on the Steam page of the game, it is clearly stated that we will face him. And this is a huge detail. On top of that, Mob Entertainment has dedicated an entire cinematic trailer to him, something that is never done for a secondary character. This confirms that in Chapter 5, his presence will be far more important and long-lasting compared to previous chapters. He will no longer be a figure that appears for just a few seconds, but a true antagonist with strong narrative weight. And this is where Amber's message takes on a completely different meaning. If someone who has already seen Chapter 5, who has already observed the prototype inside the game, considers him her favorite antagonist, then we should be ready. Because Mob Entertainment has clearly worked a lot on this character, not only visually but also in terms of narrative and presence within the scenes. So get ready, the prototype will be very important in Chapter 5. Now let's talk about another official message, once again written by Amber. A few days ago, we saw that Amber stated that the Halloween artwork contains an obscure secret, a hidden detail that so far no one has managed to find. This immediately sparked the curiosity of the community, because we know very well how much Mob Entertainment loves to hide visual clues inside their promotional images. After that statement, many people started making theories about what this dark secret could be. Some analyzed every corner of the image, others adjusted colors, searched for hidden symbols, or tried to connect it to the lore. However, so far, none of these theories have turned out to be correct. Because of this, Amber added another very important detail. She said that she will make a BTS video, where she will also show the obscure secret. For those who don't know, BTS videos, meaning behind the scenes, are videos that show the work done behind the scenes, so the creative process, artistic choices, and in this case, how the artwork was created step by step. It could mean that the secret is directly tied to the construction of the image, not just what we can see on the surface. Let's also remember that the Halloween artwork already contains several clues related to Chapter 5, clues that we have analyzed before and that seem to connect directly to the story and characters of the new chapter. But apparently, that's not everything. According to Amber, there is another additional clue, darker and deeper, that no one has discovered yet. This makes the situation even more interesting, because if no one has found it yet, it means it could be an extremely subtle detail or something that will only make sense after seeing Chapter 5 or some of its key moments. So now we just have to wait for this BTS video, which could reveal one of the most important clues related to the new chapter. And considering that we are now only 1 month away from release, it is very likely that this secret is directly connected to what we will see in Poppy Playtime Chapter 5. Thank you so much for watching this video. See you soon in the next video. Bye bye.